Hi there, I'm Mike Bills. I'm from Measurable Solutions, and this is Whiteboard Wednesday. So today we're going to talk about being tied to your practice. If you ever feel like there's a rope around you and every time you walk out of your practice there's a problem list that's there for you to solve when you get back, well then you are definitely tied to your practice, right? So I always think about probably time about 8 years ago, before I really had good control over my practice as an owner. I was in the middle of Montana, and I'm trying to get in touch with my staff because I'm getting this email that says all these problems that are going on, right? Here I am, I'm from Virginia, I'm in the middle of Montana, I got to drive about 30 minutes to get to a town where I have cell reception, etc., because I was definitely tied to my practice. And even halfway across the country, 2/3 of the way across the country, there's this rubber band that's pulling me back in even though I'm gone. So I'm sure, at times you can think of, times where you're tied to your practice and you're constantly strapped back in. And I know when I talk to private practice owners, that's always a big problem that they have, right? So there's some really simple things that we're going to talk about that you can do to get that under control. Because the goal should be that you can walk out of the office for a week, for a day, for a month, for an hour, go to lunch, come back, you walk right back by the front desk, you walk by everybody, and you go back and sit down in your office and they didn't even know you were gone, because then you're not tied to your practice. So you really got to be able to do a couple of things. The first thing you got to do is figure out what are the things that you're doing that other people should be able to and aren't doing, so that you can get those things off of you, right? Because I want you to give up some things right now today that you're doing that other people need to know how to do, that you don't need to be doing, so that you're not tied to your practice. Once you've figured out what a couple of things are, then what you really got to do is you got to write up how to do them. You got to know in your head, all the steps that you go through to get those things done. And that's why when you walk out and you come back, they're just waiting for you to come back, because they're waiting for you to come back to go, hey, can you do this for me? Because blah, 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 right? So, and then the third thing you got to do is you got to be able to train your staff to do it. When you walk out of that door, you need to know that they're going to be able to handle things the exact same way you're going to. Otherwise, you're going to be there from 6:30 in the morning till 7 o'clock at night, because you're the only one that's trained to do it. So you got to get them trained, right? So here's a real quick review. You got to give up 3 things. So your assignment for this week is pick 3 things that you're doing and give those things up. Figure out who you're going to give them to, who are you going to help to be able to figure out how to do those things. And then you have to be able to write down what you do with regards to those things. Because when you write down exactly what you do, you put that in written form, you can pass that on to somebody. And then you're going to pass it on by training them. And you're going to train them how to do it. Just as if it was you sitting there doing it. Now you'll be able to walk out the door, come back in an hour later, a day later, a month later, whatever it is, and you are not going to be tied to your practice anymore, because people are going to be trained to do those jobs for you. So that's your assignment. I guarantee you get these things in place, you can be in the middle of nowhere and you don't have to worry about anybody needing you, and you will be a much happier practice owner and a much happier life. So get these actions in place, and I look forward to seeing you for the next Whiteboard Wednesday. Take care.